Hi there! Welcome to Pallet University and the I Want to Battle tag of 2020. Well, the second one of 2020. If you do not know, this is a tag video sort of originated by Birdkeeper Toby, and while he usually does it in January, this year he just decided to do it in November. So even though there's already sort of a 2021 back in January on the channel, this is the real 2021. So basically, in this sort of tag video, Birdkeeper Toby gives a sort of list of questions just about, your thoughts on Pokemon over the last year, or just general things to get to know different creators better. So he gave a full list of, these questions on his video that he made, so you can go check that out. I'll leave a link to it up in the cards as well as in the description. But the first question is as follows: what is the best Pokemon of 2020? So to me, that's kind of loaded. For me, the first ones that come to mind are some of the new sort of big legendaries that they introduced in the DLC expansions, the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor. So that would be Urshifu and Calyrex. Personally, I don't know. I do like both of them. I don't think that they're the best Pokemon of 2020 for me personally. I think for me it has to be Dracovish. Dracovish was very, very popular, especially at the beginning of the year, and it really sort of led me into, well, I started my fossil series, because if you did not know, because I'm wearing a dinosaur tie, but if you did not know, if you're new to the channel, I'm a real-life paleontologist, and so all the weird, wacky things that they did with the fossil Pokemon in Generation 8, Dracovish, Arctovish, Arctozolt, and Dracozolt, with all the weird stuff that they chose to do with them, that sort of inspired me to actually create an entire series where I just talk about fossil Pokemon and, from the perspective of an actual paleontologist. I have a whole playlist about it, you can find that up in the cards too. But Dracovish sort of kicked off that whole series, and, to me, I think that makes Dracovish the best Pokemon of 2020. Either that or the shiny Archon I caught on a stream when I wasn't even looking for it. That's pretty good too. Alright, question number 2 is, what is the best video that you made this year / looking forward to making next year? And so this is a 3 or 4-way tie, and this is not at all a reason for me to just plug some of my videos for you to check out. That's definitely not what I'm doing. Anyway, objectively the best performing video on my channel is this one, where I sort of talk about which starter Pokemon is the best to pick in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. That wipes away every other video on my channel by a very large margin, even though that video was put out 9 months ago now, almost 10 months ago. So even though it's quite old, it still is regularly the 3rd or 4th most viewed video per week on my channel. So objectively, performance-wise, that one is the best. However, the one that I'm probably most proud of is this video, where I talk about some of the lore of Urshifu and how Urshifu might actually be a reference to like earthbending and waterbending in the franchise of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know it's not, but that's just me sort of headcanoning and proposing other forms of Urshifu based on the different forms of bending. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I thought that was a really creative video, and one that I was really, really proud of. And then the last member of that tie is actually a series, so again, definitely not a shameless plug. But so I started doing a series where I break down sort of the realistic Pokemon art of the artist Joshua Dunlop, who's an incredible, artist. I'll leave links to all of his art stuff that I react to down in the description. But so he draws them as if they were real animals in real life, and I react to that being, a biologist. Paleontology has a lot of biology in it. So I sort of react to them and sort of talk about, I teach about biology in a way that makes a lot of sense in context of Pokemon. And so that's sort of the whole goal of this whole channel, is to teach people about real science by using all of the cool things that Pokemon actually takes inspiration from our real world. Because there are so many real world things that are just as crazy, if not crazier, than Pokemon that so many people don't know about when they should. Question 3, what can your viewers expect from you in 2021? So, firstly, I have a couple, hopefully very, very early in the year, I have a couple of collaborations with some of the people that Birdkeeper Toby talked about in his video, so keep an eye out for those. Those should come, like I said, January to February-ish. But other than that, I'm going to keep sort of just doing what I'm doing. 2020 was a really cool year for me because my channel started with like less than 100 subscribers, and at present I'm at, I think, 811. So 2020 has been a really good year for the channel, and so I'm going to keep doing the Real Biologist React series to those pieces of art by Joshua Dunlop. I recently started a series where I talk about pets, how Pokemon might be as pets, because we always look at them from like a battling perspective. But, there's lots of people in the games and in the shows who just have a Pokemon that just pals around with them that they don't really battle with. So how would it be to sort of care for that Pokemon? I plan on doing quite a few more of those. And then I also plan on picking back up a series in which I do a phylogenetic tree of life of Pokemon, which I know Birdkeeper Toby has already done. However, I have actual software that real life, geneticists, people who do this in real life with real animals, I have the software and the, know-how from my education to do this with Pokemon. So, hopefully this summer, I'll be picking that back up and trying my best with the limited information that Game Freak actually gives us about Pokemon to create a proper, tree of evolutionary life in Pokemon. Question 4 is there anything on YouTube that's made you just feel really good this year? And I really like that Toby put this in because obviously this year's been incredibly hard for so many people, like myself included. And, finding any kind of silver lining, it might seem kind of hokey and seem like, it's not worth doing. Like, there's so much bad in the world, but if you can't find the little good things, then like the bad things are going to be all that you see. So for me personally, some really cool things that happened on YouTube is that back, in like May, June, I did a couple of streams over the summer, raising money for Black Lives Matter, and it was really cool to see just a lot of people coming out, a lot of people that had never been to the channel before, coming out and like donating money. We ended up donating almost $100 to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, which was super, super cool. That was something that I was super proud to have just been a part of, and that my community, as kind of small as it is, I really love it. And that they were so supportive of that kind of project. Even the people who couldn't donate just came and, palled around. We played Animal Crossing. We played a little bit of like a Nuzlocke. It was just a lot of fun and for a really good cause. So that was something that really just made me feel good. And that's something that's been making me, carrying me through the latter parts of 2020. Getting a little less sort of serious now. Question 5 is Crown Tundra, Isle of Armor. So I also do a lot of like competitive stuff in my own time. So I'm really torn. The like competitive battler side likes the Isle of Armor way more. It made competitive battling way more interesting. A lot, very easy comparatively, even to what it was back in like Gen 7. But then there are so many cool storylines, even though they're not as fleshed out as I would like them to be in the Crown Tundra, but there's at least multiple of them. And I personally like the whole thing with Calyrex generally better than I did with those like storyline with Urshifu, just because it felt a little more fleshed out, not fleshed out, but like more fleshed out than Urshifu's storyline, which was a pretty low bar to begin with. But just getting some more background lore of different parts of a new region, that's the thing that I play Pokemon for mostly. So it's a bit of a toss-up, but I would probably have to say Crown Tundra. Question 6 is name a smaller YouTuber who you think deserves more subscribers. And to be honest, most of the people that I actually know through YouTube have larger channels than me, / have already been tagged in Toby's. There's one exception to at least that last part. His channel is larger than mine. But it's Derek Triforce, somebody that I've been, that I interact with on Twitter occasionally. He just got to 1,000 subscribers, somewhat recently, back, 5-6 months ago. And while he doesn't upload all that often, all of the content on his channel I think is super cool. So definitely, if you've, got some free time, you can definitely check out Derek's channel down in the description. And the final question number 7, is tag 3 people, which I guess that's not a question. Never mind. Anyway, 3 people. So unfortunately, like I said, in the last little bit, most of the people that I actually interact with through YouTube or, Twitter, social media, whatever, frequently were already tagged in Toby's video. However, there's a couple that aren't, that I think might be interested. So, first of which will be Derek Triforce. Like I said, he has not uploaded in like 5 months, but he did do the Wants to Battle tag last year, or earlier this year. So hopefully this might pique his interest and, cause him to upload one of his elusive uploads. The next one is somebody who's been one of my first friends through YouTube, albeit not this channel, but has been incredibly supportive of everything that I've done through YouTube. But is PC Bloodmaster, my friend Nick. We've known each other for 4 years, at least through the internet. So go check out Nick's channel. Again, will be down below. And then the last one is a big reach. A big reach. But one of my personal favorite Pokemon content creators is Wolfie Glick. I just love his goofy, quirky personality. And like I said, I like competitive battling, specifically VGC. So again, a big reach, but hopefully not one that's out of reach. That's a really bad metaphor, but you know what I mean. Anyway, big thank you to Toby just for doing this, giving smaller, channels, smaller content creators a platform to sort of get themselves a little bit more well known, as well as just doing generally really positive things in the community. Hopefully you and your family and loved ones are staying safe in these, troubling times, especially here in the United States, where, coronavirus is currently still exploding. But, hopefully you're staying as safe as possible, and that, you and your family have a happy holiday season, whatever you happen to celebrate, and that you and everyone else are staying safe is really all we can ask at this point. Make sure to follow me on Twitter as well, at Pallet_U, to keep up on all things Pokemon science, as well as if you feel like our content is worthy of supporting financially, we do have a Patreon, the link to which will be down below. And we're actually starting a Patreon-exclusive Let's Play series of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, in my opinion, very closely tied for the best Mystery Dungeon game of all time, my personal favorite Pokemon games. So we're starting a Let's Play of it over on Patreon. That will be throughout the month of December. A massive shout out to our current patron over on Patreon, Patty Murphy. Your support is greatly appreciated, more than you could ever know. And lastly, thank you so much for watching. And as always, there's a time and place for everything.